guys? So I'm back. I'm sorry I haven't done a review in forever, but I haven't seen a lot of movies. There's been a lot that come out recently. I saw It Follows, and I thought that was it was okay. I didn't really have much to say about it, so I didn't really feel like I had enough to do a video on. And then I did see Cinderella, but I saw like a month and a half after it actually was released, so it kind of was irrelevant to review at that point. But last night I went to the midnight showing of Avengers: Age of Ultron, so that's what I'm here to talk about today. The Avengers are back. They retrieve Loki's staff, and basically Tony Stark tries to create a robot that will be like the policeman for the world. But then things go terribly wrong, and Ultron is created, who decides that the only way to achieve the goal of peace is to kill all the humans. And then you get your movie. There are a lot of things to like about this movie, but then there are some like nitpicky, not nitpicky, but like kind of like nagging things that are like nags at the back of your mind a little bit while you're watching. And the elephant in the room needs to be addressed right now. This is not as good as the original Avengers. I don't think it even comes close. But really, I think to expect it to be as good is kind of unfair to the movie, because the first Avengers, like, that was lightning in a bottle, the way just like you've never seen those characters on screen before, and to see that expect that magic a second time around is really unfair, because that's a really hard thing to do. So I think this movie was able to do a lot of really cool things in the position they're at, but they're just not in that special place they were the first time around. There are three main things I really liked about this movie. The first off was that I really liked Ultron as a villain. He's nothing like they portray in the trailers. In the trailers, he's all serious. In the movie, he's almost like sarcastic and a bit witty. Like he has a really funny joke about how about evil plans and like how he's gonna tell it to them, and that was really great. I don't want to spoil the jokes for you, but he has a lot of really funny lines, and I thought that was surprising because I didn't think we'd get that. It almost made him a little bit more human than you thought he would be. The second thing I really enjoyed about this movie was the interactions between the characters, just like what was my favorite part of the first Avengers. I don't think the interactions were as good. Like, there was nothing as good as like the Tony Stark, Captain America kind of like put on the suit kind of thing. There was nothing like that, but you did get some really interesting things here, also between Captain America and Tony Stark. But there wasn't as much of it, with more of a focus on action, and that was one of my small problems with the movies. I felt like there's a little too much action and not enough interaction. The last thing that I really loved, I'm not really allowed to talk about in depth because it's a spoiler. For those who don't know who Vision is, like, he's in the movie, I can say that. Vision is a character that is really awesome. I've been waiting a long time to see what he's going to be like, and they knocked Vision out of the park in this movie. I thought Vision was incredible. And his scenes with Ultron were probably the best scenes in the movie, besides a couple of the Tony Stark and Captain America wood chopping scene. Those are some of the best scenes in the movie, and notably those are interaction scenes and not action scenes, like I said before. However, I don't want to totally diss the action scenes, because there are some really awesome action scenes, especially one that's heavily featured in the trailer, the Hulkbuster versus Hulk. And if you think that, oh man, we've seen that, you have not seen that fight. That fight goes on for a long time, and it is not the best action scene. There's also an action that's also featured in the trailer where you see like cars flipping, and once again you haven't seen anything. The trailers did a really good job of not giving away a lot of stuff, especially in terms of action. Staying on the positive side, I really liked actually what they did with Hawkeye in this movie. And I'll admit, I make Hawkeye jokes as much as the next person. Like, I make fun of him all the time. But honestly, I really was hoping that Hawkeye would have a better role in this movie, because I actually really do like Jeremy Renner as an actor, and I want to see him do some more. And he gets a lot of development in this movie, and I thought that stuff really paid off. Especially some scenes that I don't want to talk about because it's a bit spoilery, but where it goes is very interesting and honestly compelling. So I really liked that aspect of it, because he was kind of a nothing character in the first Avengers, despite the fact that he's an Avenger. So some more things that need to be addressed. So Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, I thought they were good. I didn't love them. I thought that Scarlet Witch was more interesting than Quicksilver. I didn't love the accents. They were kind of dumb, but I liked the characters, and I liked Joss. It's a very Joss Whedon take on them. It's kind of what I expected out of it. So it wasn't like it was shocking, but I liked the actors in general, even if they weren't given a ton to do. But like overall, they worked. They didn't take away from the movie. Yes, the X-Men Quicksilver is better, but he also had more to do, so it's not really a fair comparison. So I want to touch on something that maybe a lot of people don't give a crap about, but Ulysses Claw is in this movie, and if you know anything about Ulysses Claw is he's part of the Wakanda storyline, which is where vibranium is made, which is what Cap's shield is made out of, and that means Black Panther in the future. We already know Black Panther is confirmed if you follow the Marvel universe. So yeah, Chadwick Boseman's gonna be Black Panther, and I thought it was cool to see him in this movie. His interaction with Ultron was really awesome, especially one part where Ultron was really like sarcastic, and it was really funny, and it was honestly that stuff was really great. I've talked about my positives. I'm gonna talk about some of the negatives. There aren't that many glaring ones or some like nagging little things. I think the movie is weirdly like structured and a bit uneven, and for some people that won't be a problem, they won't care. But someone like me, that kind of stuff really bothers me. But most likely, it won't matter to you as long as like the interactions there. Just like I thought it was kind of awkward at points, the way it kind of flowed together. But I can get past that. Another thing is that sometimes I thought that the movie got a little repetitive in the action scenes. They're generally pretty good, but sometimes they go on a little too long, and they're just like doing it again and again and again. But once again, there isn't like too much of it, so it doesn't really like take me out of the movie. But there were times I'm like, okay, I need something different here. Like, I'm gonna actually combine this with another negative. So this is a very nitpicky one, but I didn't really love the way Captain America was utilized in the action scenes. Maybe just because I've seen Winter Soldier, and after seeing Winter Soldier, watching him do the same move where he cuts off a Ultron bot's head 600 times is not nearly as compelling as watching him do parkour and smack the crap out of some people. So you might say that's a nitpicky thing, and I think it's a valid thing to talk about, because well, obviously this isn't the Russo brothers directing this movie, so it's different action. I just feel like it wasn't very original on Cap's point. A lot of it was very one note, even though his combinations with Thor were really cool. Sometimes the film can feel a little bit indulgent, is what I'm going to say. Like, Joss Whedon kind of had like more creative control, and he went a little too far with it maybe. But sometimes, like, since you don't get these movies a lot, like, you know, the big team-ups, I don't have a problem with that, because you're not going to get a lot of these kind of movies. But sometimes indulgence isn't the best thing. And remember that he wanted this to be a 3-hour movie, and they had to cut it down. So already it's already an indulgent movie, and that's why I think I need to see it a second time before I can have like a full like on grade for it. Like I could say I'm gonna give my grade here, but you could ask me later and it could be different. Like it could be a different grade than the grade I give here, because there's so much happens in this movie. There's a lot of plot stuffed into this 2 hours and 30 minutes. And some stuff can be kind of rushed by, like the creation of Ultron was a little bit done. Boom, he's evil, let's get into it. And but that stuff might go away when I see it a second time. I don't really know. That's why I said I need to see this film a second time. But at this point, I have, thoughts, and I think some things aren't going to change. Some things will change. Like, I don't think my opinion on the twins are going to change, that kind of stuff. Some nitpicky things on both sides of the gap. I didn't really love the climactic scene. I didn't think it paid off as well as the first Avengers did. And part of the reason why is I think that it's a little too similar to the climactic scene in the Avengers in a different location. But that being said, it was still fine. I need to see it again once again. I was in pain throughout like the last part of it. And I kind of wanted it to end so, I wouldn't have to feel that pain anymore. I liked how Black Widow was used. And I liked how they were able to fit more of the characters in the Marvel Universe into it. I mean, if they have small roles, like Rhodey shows up, the Falcon's in 2 scenes. However, why can't the Falcon be in the climactic scene? The Falcon and Captain America are, like, they're a duo. So how come Rhodey can be in the final scene, which isn't a spoiler because he's part of it. But Falcon can't. So I don't think that's fair because I like Falcon more than I like Rhodey. But you know, nitpick. It's still fine. It wasn't a problem. So overall, there's a lot to like in this movie. There are some nagging problems, but those could go away when I see the movie. Some of the things I like could change. We don't really know. I just need to see it again. But right now, I'm really like in between a B plus and an A minus. So I'm gonna give it a B A minus. That's not a real thing, but who cares? It's my channel. So somewhere in between there. When you ask me, if you ask me in person, if you personally know me, then I will like tell you which one it lands on. I'm probably gonna lean toward A minus, so that'll probably be the real grade. Of course, I want to know what you all will think, because you probably at some point are going to see this movie, because if the box office is going to come true what they're predicting, this will make some crazy dough. So of course, I want to know what you think, like always, and you can subscribe to the channel for more reviews. They will come. I'm probably going to do like a 1-minute thing where I review like Cinderella and It Follows like together, because I feel like I should have done it, but I didn't. But I'll just be like, here, that's my thought. Okay, done. So stay tuned for that, and of course, more summer movies coming, like Mad Max Fury Road, Tomorrowland, and that stuff in May. So stay tuned.